Senator McGrath.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business, Senator Cash. Can the minister update the Senate on the latest employment figures for January and how the Morrison government is delivering on the commitments it made at the last election, including to reveal real outcomes to support Australians into work?
The Minister for Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business, Senator Cash.
Thank you, Mr President, and I thank Senator McGrath for his question. And Senator McGrath and I had the opportunity last Thursday of attending a jobs fair in Caboolture, where the labour force figures were actually when they came out. And, Mr President, it has been acknowledged that it was a difficult January, and certainly despite this and against market expectations, we saw last week, in January 2020, the creation of over 46,000 full-time jobs. That was against market expectations, and we saw a net increase of 13,500 jobs. Mr President, what this means is that over the year to January 2020, we have seen employment increase by almost 250,000 jobs. We now have a record number of Australians in employment. Just under 13 million Australians are now in work. That is a record high, Mr President. We also have a record number of Australians in full-time work. Additionally, we continue to see a record number of women in employment. We have record female participation, and I'm pleased 2/3 of all new jobs for women are actually full-time jobs. Mr President, again in January we saw an increase in the participation rate. What does this mean? This means that Australians are putting up their hands and they are saying they have confidence in the jobs market and they are ready, willing and able to work. Mr President, since we were elected to office in 2013, the policies that the coalition government have put in place have now supported the economy in creating now over 1.5 million jobs. We will continue to put in place policies that enable job creation in Australia.
Senator McGrath, a supplementary question.
What opportunities is the government providing to ensure that Australians who want to work can get to work?
Senator Cash.
Well, thank you, Mr President. As I was saying, Senator McGrath and I had the opportunity to join the member for Longman Terry Young last week and have a jobs fair in Caboolture. As you know, the government, we take jobs fairs around Australia and we've had almost 29,000 job seekers attending to date. In terms of last Thursday, we had over 2,000 people come through the door. They were people who were actively searching for work locally in Caboolture, but they were also people who were coming there to talk to job service providers about the services that are available to them. So, for example, how to update your resume or how to sit down and actually undertake an interview. We had over 700 specific jobs on offer, with over 40 exhibitors talking to potential employees. Mr President, this is all about ensuring that people who are actively looking for work are connected with the pathways to employers locally who are looking for employees.
Senator McGrath, a final supplementary question.
Can the minister inform the Senate of the policy priorities of the government to continue to support jobs growth in Australia?
Senator Cash.
Well, Mr President, we know that governments themselves don't create jobs. That's something that employers do. What governments do is put in place policies that enable, in this case, businesses to prosper, to grow and create more jobs for Australians. And as I've said, since we were elected to office in 2013, we've put in place policies that have now enabled the economy, employers out there, hard-working employers, to create in excess of 1.5 million jobs. Mr President, how are we doing this? Well, in the first instance, we are lowering taxes, whether it be for small businesses so they can reinvest back into their business, grow their business and create more jobs for Australians, or alternatively lowering taxes for working Australians, because we believe that Australians should be able to keep more of what they earn. We're also reducing the costs of doing business through deregulation. We're enabling better access to finance and we're ensuring that small businesses are paid on time. And we're building the infrastructure our economy needs to